Hello and welcome back in this very cool and very special requested video. So I received this amazing requested video by a cool fan. His name is AN6500 and one. No, it's like this, AN65001. Right. So as you can see, he requested a 12,000 RPM or 12k RPM V16 engine. Pretty simple. So if you want to do a 12k any kind of engine that can rev to 12,000 RPM, you have to pay attention to the stroke, because more stroke means less RPM. Yes, and less stroke means more RPM, and also less stroke means lower power and lower torque. You have to pay attention to it when it comes to RPM. The torque, sorry, not the torque. The bore can also affect RPM, but how it can affect it? It can affect it in the curve, the curve and the power peak. The more bore you have, and the power peak will become very early on the graph. The power will not continue for a long time, and if you lower the bore, the power peak will be extended longer on the RPM range. So it's up to you. Also, you have to pay attention on both, and also you have to pay attention to the power and torque, because of course bigger engine means more power and more torque, and of course bigger bore means bigger turbos. If you want to build like a turbocharged engine, you have to, if you want to use like bigger turbos, you need to make the engine, or you need to make the bore much more higher, so the engine can support bigger turbos, because tiny engines will have tiny turbos only. That's how automation works. Alright, so let's start with the specs. We have 90 degrees V-shaped 816 cylinder engine, aluminium block, 54.8mm on the bore, 63.7mm on the stroke, which equals 2.4 liter or 2404 cc engine. Dual overhead camshaft, 5 valves per cylinder, aluminium head material, billet steel crankshaft, lightweight titanium connecting rods, and lightweight forged pistons. +5 quality on the internals. We have 10.7:1 is the compression ratio, 94 on the cam profile, because in this engine, in particular in this size, more cam means less power and less torque. This is like the silver lining here. This is the perfect line for power and torque, and the power curve. This is as high as it will get in this size and in this engine. I tried the smallest engine. I tried the biggest possible engine for 12,000 RPM. This is by far the best one, and the best power peak and torque peak in all the range, in all sizes. So this is as pretty perfect, as pretty much good as it will get. So variable valve timing on all cams, +5 quality here. We have twin turbocharged system with ball bearing internals, 722 horsepower supporting intercooler with a custom twin turbochargers, 40.1mm on the compressor, maxed out compressor size, 34mm on the turbine. Also, the purpose of 34, I mean, I could go higher, I can make more power and torque, but the power peak will drop significantly, and I don't want to drop the power peak. I want to keep the power as long, very long on the RPM layer, on the RPM range. I don't want to drop it or make the engine valve float very early. I want to make the power go as far as possible along the range of RPM. Also, the air ratio, maxed out air ratio, so you can get also for the same reason, so you can keep the power curve as smooth as possible along the RPM range. 22 psi, this is as high as it will get. More boost means less power peak, and I mean, more boost will get me more torque, but it will not get more powerful. So this is also 22. This is as best as it will get. +5 quality on the turbos. We have direct fuel injection, throttle per cylinder, racing intake manifold, ultimate 100 octane fuel, 11.7 is the air fuel ratio, 82 on the ignition timing. Also the ignition, you have to pay attention to the ignition. More ignition sometimes can kill the power curve. More ignition sometimes can make the power to stop early, which is not good if you are building like a really high RPM engine. As you can see, the RPM limit is 12,000, +5 quality on the fuel system. dual exhaust pipes, 3.8 inch is the exhaust diameter, or 95.2 millimeters. We have no restrictions whatsoever, just a straight pipe from the engine itself. We have +5 quality on turbos, and this is the final result. 519.5 horsepower at 8,400 RPM. I know, this is too little for a 12,000 RPM engine. This is as high as it will get. I mean, there was an engine that I made which went like to 8,500, but it was knocking. I mean, I tried to push a little bit fuel. I tried to do many things to it, drop the compression ratio, whatever. I could not make it to reach more than 8,400 RPM. The power peaks on this range only. The torque is 381.4 pound-feet of torque at 5,300. The engine is not really reliable because of the racing intake. The engine can suck all the dirt and crap out of the street. That makes what makes it really unreliable. But 34, this is very acceptable for a racing engine. The engine is lightweight. Fuel economy for a racing engine is good. The engine is extremely responsive. It's extremely loud, and it's smooth even with a racing camshaft. Alright, so this is how it looks from the inside. These are the turbos, as you can see. The same error as before. There's no fan inside this turbo. They should fix that. Alright, so let me show you the graph. As you can see, this is it. This is the power curve. As you can see, this is starting naturally aspirated, and turbos will start to kick in here. And as you can see, look at it, 4,200 RPM. The turbos will be spooling very nicely here. The power will kick in all the way up here. Where is it? 519 horsepower, as you can see at here. And all of this is just a waste of time and a waste of RPM. I mean, this is as good as this engine will get. I really genuinely, I made and I played with all the options: bigger exhaust, smaller exhaust, more ignition, less ignition, more camshaft profile, less camshaft profile, more compression ratio, less compression ratio, more fuel, less fuel. This is as good as it will get. Bigger turbo, smaller turbo, more boost, less boost, more less AR ratio, smaller or bigger intercooler, still the same thing. Alright, so let's fire this beast up and let's see those RPM, those pistons and connecting rods dancing the 12,000 RPM dance. As you can listen and see, the engine runs, or the engine sounds really rough because of the racing camshaft. The lobe on these camshaft is huge, which makes the idle speed and the idle sound really aggressive. But it's still smooth because it's very balanced. V16 engines are really balanced well. So as you can listen and see, the engine sound extremely brutal, and I mean if you are wearing headphones, I think your ears are bleeding because of the really loud sound. I'm really happy with the end result here, and I mean, it looks amazing, it sounds amazing, and of course it's a powerful engine, 2.4 liter with 520 horsepower, 381 pound-feet of torque. It's an amazing engine. It's powerful, it's very quick, and it's very awesome. So thank you so much, Mr. AN65001, for your cool requested video, and I'm really happy to do it. And sorry guys for all of you that for everyone that wrote a request and I did not make it because I'm a little bit busy, and I've chosen this one because it's quick and it's easy to do. And but I promise I'm gonna make all of your requested videos just when I have like a free time, or when I have enough time to do them. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button, get subscribed, share the video if you want to share it, and of course hit that notification bell button so you can get a notification each time I release a new video. So thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna see you very soon, and goodbye my friends for now.